Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi, and welcome back to Weekly Words. I'm Alicia, and I don't know what I'm going to talk to you about yet, but let's start. Today's topic is words that vary by region. Creek. I say creek. You might hear the word crick. Crick. And the word creek means a small river, essentially. There's a creek in my backyard, for example. Sure. The next word is coyote. I say coyote. How do other people say this word? Coyote. Oh, yeah, coyote. I don't say that. A coyote is kind of a dog-like animal. It's a wild animal, about the size of a dog, but they howl at night. We have them in Oregon, where I'm from. I definitely heard them at my house. Last night, I heard the coyotes out in my pasture. Okay, the next word is route. R-O-U-T-E. Route is how I say it. You might also hear the word pronounced route. Route, R-O-U-T-E, means the way through a city or a town or some kind of path, in other words. R-O-O-T, which this word sounds like, is the system that's at the bottom of a plant that a plant uses to get nutrients, with the little hairy fibers. I am so good at explaining plant biology. Oh, I know a good route to get from school to the park later. Let's take that on our bicycles. That was oddly specific. The next word is apricot, or you might hear apricot as well. It's a fruit. So you might say, hey, did you bring any apricots to the picket? Picket? To the picket. Apricots, no apricots. Picket, on the other hand, is a word that means protest. There's a freebie in there. For example, you might say, hey, I really liked those apricots you brought me the other day. They were delicious. Okay, the next word is caramel. I think I say caramel. Oh, this is making me doubt myself. There's caramel and there's caramel. They both refer to a sugary, sweet substance that's often a type of candy or often inside a type of candy. It's really, really delicious. So you might say, oh, my favorite kind of candy is caramel, or my favorite kind of candy is caramel. Just depends on where you're from. Apparently in the East Coast, they say caramel. On the West Coast, it seems we say caramel. That sounds about right to me. You can choose. End. Hooray! What was this one called? This has been words that vary by region. You can choose which region you're from, perhaps, but it's probably best for you to be consistent when you're speaking so that you don't confuse the person listening to you. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye. Yeah, vamos a la playa. Now we're going to the beach. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 20 travel phrases that you should know. So let's go. Do you have any recommendations? The first phrase is, do you have any recommendations? This is great to use when you get to a restaurant where you don't know what the food is, you don't know anything about the local cuisine, or you're just feeling a little bit adventurous. You can ask the waitstaff, do you have any recommendations? How much is this? How much is this? This is useful when you're out shopping or when you're in a restaurant and the price is not clearly marked or something is not clear to you. So you can ask, how much is this? Usually when you point to something, I would recommend like pointing to the menu or pointing to an item. How much is this? I'd like this. You can point to something and say, I'd like this. If you want to say, I'd like one, for example, I don't know, you're getting beer. I'd like one of these. If, however, you're in a situation where you can't point, you can say, I'd like 10 of the blah, blah, blah. I'd like 10 of the blue t-shirts, please. Can I try this on? Is useful when you're shopping for clothes. So you find something that you'd like to try, just ask the staff, can I try this on? You can just say, I want to try this on, if you like. Do you speak English? You might get asked this phrase. So you should say, if you're watching this video, you should probably say yes, or you can say yes, a little, if you're not feeling very confident. If you're watching this video and you're understanding this part and you say no, then that's a little strange. So, I have a reservation. Usually the staff will greet you and you can say, I have a reservation. Hello, I have a reservation. It's at 7 o'clock. The name is Alicia. Usually we say the name is, or it's under, meaning the reservation is under my name, or it's for name, or it's in name. Water, please. Depending on which country you're from, water may or may not automatically be brought to your table when you're at a restaurant. If you would like more water, however, you can say, water, please. To make it a little more polite, I would wave at the waitstaff and say, could I please have some more water? Do you take credit cards? Do you take credit cards? In case you're not sure if the shop that you're in will accept credit cards or debit cards, you can ask them, do you take credit cards? So it doesn't mean, do you take, meaning, are you going to take my card? But this take means, do you accept credit cards? This isn't what I ordered. So if you're at a restaurant, you order steak and you get lobster instead. You can look at it and go, this isn't what I ordered. Be careful though. Say this politely. If you look at the waitstaff and you say, this isn't what I ordered, they're gonna be like, I don't know, just be a nice customer. Excuse me, but I don't think this is what I ordered, or this isn't what I ordered. Can you please check? Could we have the menu, please? If for some reason you don't receive a menu when you come to the table, you can, again, just wave at a member of the staff and say, could we have the menu, please? Could you give me a discount? Could you give me a discount means I would like a cheaper price, essentially. So it depends on which country you're in. If haggling or bargaining, meaning talking to the seller to try to reduce the price. My family didn't bargain, we didn't haggle, so I don't haggle. It depends on you and your culture. But just be aware of the culture that you're in and the place that you're in before you ask this question. Do you have any vegetarian dishes? This is useful. Some people have specific eating requirements or eating needs, maybe food allergies, for example. You can replace vegetarian with the specific dietary requirement that you have. Do you have any vegan dishes? Do you have any gluten-free dishes? Do you have any low-fat dishes? Do you have any low-carb dishes? Do you have any fish-free dishes? Do you have any... Could you take a picture of me, please? If you are in a location where you would like to take a picture, but you don't want to do a selfie, or you don't have a selfie stick, or whatever, you want someone else to take a picture of you, a stranger that you don't know, you can ask them, could you take a picture of me, please? Or, excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of me, please? I'm allergic to blah, blah, blah. If you have a food allergy or even an allergy to a medicine, this is the phrase you can use to explain that. I'm allergic to wheat, or I can't eat wheat, for example. Is the Wi-Fi free? Meaning, can I use the Wi-Fi free of charge? Keep in mind, some places have a password that you have to ask the staff for. So you can say, is the Wi-Fi free? If they say yes, you can then follow that up with, can I have the password? I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. So when you go to a restaurant, you have an option between smoking and non-smoking sections. The staff will say smoking or non-smoking. You can say, I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. Quite honestly though, the most natural response is just to say non-smoking. Could I get a map? Maybe it's a map of the subway system for the city that you're in, or maybe it's a map of the area around your hotel. You could say, could I have a map as well? Could I have the check? You're finished at your cafe, you're finished at the restaurant, and it's time to leave, it's time to pay. So you say to the waitstaff, excuse me, could I have the check? Another more common expression perhaps is, excuse me, check please. You might also hear bill. Excuse me, can I have the bill? Where is the bathroom? Very important question. If you're traveling in America, we don't really use the word toilet or washroom very much. We use bathroom or restroom to talk about toilet facilities. Excuse me, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Or excuse me, I'm looking for the bathroom, or I'm looking for the restroom. Is this the train for blah, blah, blah? Or is this the train that goes to blah, blah, blah? To confirm with someone that I'm indeed on the correct train line. If I say, is this the train bound for San Francisco? You can use that to check if you're correct. So that's the end. Those are 20 travel phrases that you can use when you're traveling in an English-speaking country. Give them a try. I hope that they go well for you. Of course, there are many different variations on these themes, so be sure to experiment a little bit. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and we will see you again soon. Bye! The things that I do before I travel to a country where I cannot speak the language, I actually learned numbers. Okay. Fin.
Imagine you're on a plane. Your seatmate wants to know where you're from. What do you say? Hi, Alicia here. There's no need to worry. In this lesson, you'll learn how easy it is to tell somebody where you're from. Gustavo and Anna are having just this kind of conversation as their plane lands in New York City. Let's watch.
Excuse me, but is that the Statue of Liberty?
Yes, that's right.
So, are you from New York?
Yes, I am. And you? Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Really? So, are you from Rio?
No, I'm not. I'm from Sao Paulo.
Oh, Sao Paulo?
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to talk about where you're from. Ready? Do you remember how Gustavo explained where he was from?
I'm from Sao Paulo.
First is a contraction, meaning I am.
I'm
Next is the word,
from
and last is a place name.
Sao Paulo.
Together it's,
I'm from Sao Paulo.
the structure is,
I'm from
plus the place name. You can use it with cities, countries, or even with regions. Imagine your hometown is Shanghai. What would you say?
I'm from Shanghai.
Now imagine you're from Egypt. What would you say?
I'm from Egypt.
Do you remember how Anna asked Gustavo if he was from Rio de Janeiro?
Are you from Rio?
First is the second person singular form of the verb to be.
Are
Next is the word.
you
After this is the word,
from
and last is a city name.
Rio?
Together, it's,
Are you from Rio?
the structure is,
Are you from?
plus a place name. It's similar to the above expression,
I'm from Sao Paulo.
except that the verb to be, which has been contracted with the word
I,
to make,
I'm.
has been moved to the beginning of the sentence and put in the second person, along with the subject.
Are you from Rio?
Now imagine you meet someone on the plane. Ask him or her if he or she is from Los Angeles.
Are you from Los Angeles?
Now imagine you meet someone with an Australian accent. Ask him or her if he or she is from Australia.
Are you from Australia?
Now, if you have no idea where someone's from, you can ask,
Where are you from?
in this case, the place name has been removed and the sentence starts with,
Where?
it's also said with a different intonation. Together, it's,
Where are you from?
imagine you meet someone new, but have no idea where they're from. Ask them where they're from.
Where are you from?
Imagine you've just landed after a long flight to America and you're almost free. But first you need to go through passport control. What will they ask you? How should you respond? Hi, Alicia here. Navigating passport control isn't as hard as you might think. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo has just arrived in New York. He's in line at passport control. Let's watch.
Next. Passport, please.
Hello. Here you are.
How long will you be staying?
For 6 weeks.
And where will you be staying?
At the Four Seasons Hotel.
What's the purpose of your visit?
I'm here on business.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the United States.
Now the lesson focus. Here's what you say to navigate passport control. Ready? Do you remember the first question the immigration officer asked after Gustavo gave him his passport?
How long will you be staying?
Immigration officers ask this question to find out about the length of a visitor's stay. They want to know if a visitor plans to stay for 2 weeks, for example, or 1 month. First is the phrase,
How long?
next is the word,
Will
after this is the word,
you
and last is the phrase.
be staying
Gustavo responds with a length of time.
for 6 weeks?
First is the word,
For
next is the number,
6
and last is the word.
weeks.
Together, it's.
For 6 weeks.
The sentence structure to answer the question, how long will you be staying, is for plus number of days or weeks. Imagine you're going to stay for 2 weeks. Answer the question.
How long will you be staying? For 2 weeks.
Do you remember the second question the immigration officer asked Gustavo in the scene?
And where will you be staying?
This question is identical to the first question, except instead of saying,
How long?
the immigration officer asked.
Where?
The immigration officer is asking to find out which hotel or address a visitor will be staying at. Again, it's.
Where will you be staying?
In response, Gustavo gives the name of his hotel.
At the Four Seasons Hotel.
First is the word,
At
and after this is the name of the hotel.
the Four Seasons Hotel.
Together, it's.
At the Four Seasons Hotel.
The sentence structure to answer the question
Where will you be staying?
is at plus your hotel name. Imagine you'll be staying at the Plaza Hotel. Answer the question.
Where will you be staying? At the Plaza Hotel.
Do you remember the third question the immigration officer asked in the scene?
What's the purpose of your visit?
The immigration officer asks this to understand why Gustavo is visiting. First is a contraction of what and is.
What's?
Next is the word.
The
After this is the word.
purpose
Next is the word.
of
Following this is the word.
your
And last is the word.
visit.
Together, it's.
What's the purpose of your visit?
In response, Gustavo answers.
I'm here on business.
This starts with the core phrase.
I'm here on
Following this core phrase is the word.
business.
Altogether, it's.
I'm here on business.
This means that Gustavo is in the country to do business and not just to sightsee. Alternatively, he could have said,
I'm here for pleasure.
this is the same pattern as the first response. The only difference is that
On business.
has been taken out and
For pleasure.
is used instead. Again, that's.
I'm here for pleasure.
Now you try. Imagine your trip is for sightseeing. Answer the question.
What's the purpose of your visit? I'm here for pleasure.
Now imagine you are visiting the U.S. on business. Answer the question.
What's the purpose of your visit? I'm here on business.
You've arrived at your hotel and are almost ready to relax after your long trip, but the person at the front desk only speaks English. How do you check in? Hi, Alicia here. Checking in at a hotel in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo just arrived at his hotel in New York. Let's watch.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, my name is Gustavo Silva. I have a reservation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Silva. Could you spell your name, please?
Silva.
Thank you. Ah, yes, Mr. Silva. Here's your room key.
Is there a shop in this hotel?
No, but there's a small grocery store in the next building.
And is there any shampoo or conditioner in the room?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, and a wake-up call, please.
Of course. What time?
At 7. But what time's breakfast?
From 6 to 7:30 a.m. in the dining room on the first floor.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to check in at a hotel. Ready? Do you remember the first thing Gustavo said to the hotel clerk in the scene after he introduces himself?
I have a reservation.
First is the phrase.
I have
Next is the phrase.
a reservation.
Together, it's.
I have a reservation.
Use this expression to indicate that you've reserved a room in advance. You can also use this phrase in other situations where you made a reservation, such as at a restaurant. Now you try. Imagine you have just come to a restaurant where you've made a reservation. What would you say?
I have a reservation.
Now imagine you've booked a rental car online and you're checking in to pick up your car. What would you say?
I have a reservation.
Do you remember how Gustavo asked if the hotel has a shop?
Is there a shop in this hotel?
First is the phrase,
Is there
and next is the phrase.
a shop
Last is the phrase.
in this hotel?
Together, it's.
Is there a shop in this hotel?
This structure allows you to easily ask if something is nearby or in a particular location. Start your question with,
Is there
and then insert something you are looking for. Finally, add a location. Now you try. Imagine you're checking into a hotel and want to know if there's an ATM in the hotel. What would you say?
Is there an ATM in this hotel?
Now imagine you're in a shopping mall and want to find out if there's a coffee shop in the mall. What would you say?
Is there a coffee shop in this mall?
Do you remember how Gustavo asks if there is shampoo or conditioner in the room?
Is there any shampoo or conditioner in the room?
First is the phrase.
Is there any
Next is the phrase.
shampoo or conditioner
And last is the phrase.
in the room?
Together, it's.
Is there any shampoo or conditioner in the room?
This phrase structure is very similar to the one we just learned, except the word
Any.
is used to refer to uncountable nouns, such as shampoo, water, or bread. The structure is
Is there any?
followed by the item and location. Now you try. Imagine you're checking into a hotel and you want to know if there is bottled water in the room. What would you say?
Is there any bottled water in the room?
Imagine you're baking cookies, and you want to know if there's any milk in the refrigerator. What would you say?
Is there any milk in the refrigerator?
Imagine you and your family want to go someplace, but you need to take a bus to get there. Do you know how to buy tickets in English? Hi, Alicia here. Buying tickets in English is easy. In this lesson, you'll learn how. Gustavo's family has just arrived in America, and Gustavo and George have met them at the airport. Let's watch.
5 tickets to Times Square, please.
Okay, will that be 5 adults?
How young do you have to be to get discounted tickets?
Children under 10 years old are eligible for child tickets. Children 10 years or older need adult tickets.
Got it. Sophia, you're 8 years old, right?
Right.
And Lucas is over 10, so 4 adults and 1 child.
Okay, 4 adults and 1 child to Times Square. Your total is $73.95.
George, I'll pay.
Don't worry about it. I got it. Everybody, welcome to the United States.
Now the lesson focus. Here's how to buy tickets. Ready? Do you remember what George said to purchase tickets to Times Square?
5 tickets to Times Square, please.
First is the phrase.
5 tickets.
Next is a phrase that includes a place.
To Times Square.
Last is the word.
Please.
Together, it's.
5 tickets to Times Square, please.
The structure is
Number.
plus,
Tickets to.
plus.
Please.
Now you try. Imagine you want 2 tickets to Atlantic City. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
Two tickets to Atlantic City, please.
Now imagine you want 4 tickets to Grand Central Station. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
Four tickets to Grand Central Station, please.
Do you remember how George told how many adults and children would need tickets?
4 adults and 1 child.
First is the phrase.
4 adults.
Next is the word.
And
And last is the phrase.
1 child.
Together, it's.
4 adults and 1 child.
Keep in mind that the age range for children's tickets varies widely, so you might have to ask the ticket clerk to be sure. Now you try. Imagine you are buying tickets for yourself, 2 adult friends, and an infant. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
Three adults and 1 child.
Now imagine you are chaperoning a group of 6 elementary school students on a trip to the zoo. What would you say to the ticket clerk?
One adult and 6 children.
Do you remember how George told Gustavo that he was going to pay for the tickets?
I got it.
This is a phrase that is used to tell someone else that you will pay the total bill, including their portion. Now you try. You are on a date, and you want to pay for the meal. What do you say when the check comes?
I got it.
Now imagine you are sharing a cab with a friend, and you want to offer to pay for the ride. What would you say?
I got it.
Liked this quick lesson? Watch the full version at EnglishClass101.com to understand the whole dialogue. While you're there, learn all about American culture with our audio lessons and cultural word lists. Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com. See you next time!